So it's crazy to me that people that can work in these syndicates of government and get paid in this kind of way go to work to wreck up life for people, hacking it, hijacking it, walking right into your life, your home, even after your homelessness, or whoever the fuck that man was in my life. How he's able to even fucking live with his own morbidity and that reality that I've been faced up with anyway. To go about in my life in that kind of way without any kind of help, even bringing it to the police's attention, not one fucking thing that they can do about it, right? Not even these police talk amongst each other, then through the actions of these syndicates that's breaking you. Any such sequence or way just to meaningfully dismantle your life piece by piece because of these pig pen motherfuckers that just rather get away with their crimes, including almost masking your whole entire life and mind. They're poisoning you, stripping you out of self, undermining you, and then having your own friend purchase your own love life as if he owns you through identity theft and hacking you and hijacking you. And the moment you react to their years and years of abuse, all of a sudden you're the one in the wrong, when it's been them all along, moving in the shadows and the silences of the night, creeping in the darkest places, the pitch black of your whole entire life, meaning to alter the whole thing, hacking you, and meaning to literally psychologically manipulate and abuse you so bad, to steal you away from your whole identity and strip you of your whole self, and yet still nothing is done about their crimes until you become the reactive type that we see in the articles all over the place, taking it into extremes, and I'm sure you're quite aware. But if you ask me, much is needed when the depths of these kinds of crimes aren't just treachery, it's oppressive, it's tyrannical. When these systems breached, it's your life being forever manipulated and tracked and monitored because these people need to steal it away from you in order to get away with the real sick and sadistic crimes that they've taken over in your life for an entire lifespan. So how are you supposed to move and be able to afford all of these tasks day in and day out when you're not able to? When you're simply not able to anymore? How are you supposed to be able to be the one to have to go through all of that all of these people have the audacity to work in? Crimes, syndicates of this type of crime, and then blame shift on you and make it about you, when the reality is that these fucking motherfuckers deserve to be in prison. They can't get away with poisoning you and manipulating your whole life and leaving it into shards of otherwise what it could have been, and then blame shift those reactions on you. You've already been there. You've already been there living that alternate reality, finding yourself living in that alternate reality and feeling this is being done to you. And then all of a sudden you're faced up with the facts that allow you to know that that's what's being done to you, and it just gets worse and worse. How are you supposed to live in a world where all of your energy, all of your light, all of your life is literally being poisoned out of you, and you can't even mind the thing itself because of the reactions of the poisons and whatever? How is it supposed to be your fault and you being able to see past the way this motherfucker's hacked and moved in your life to be able to just break you down in any which way that they have, and leaving you fighting within this giant systemic issue of abuse where hearts of men are truly concerned to me? because we have gotten it utterly backwards from a humanity that is acting in service, to act in service of each other at all, when their hearts are just what are you? Rather, if we haven't got our own willingness to stand up, and then having our own who are with us, who are telling us they're for us and with us, standing up to fight for us, who do we have? It's a lone wolf attempt then to see them brighter days that should have been shown somehow that you were being messed up on these levels, because you would have better believed it, that you would have been better off running for the rest of your life. Running, and do not look back, because that type of pain that creates in your life only strips you of yourself. You have no outlet, no hope left in the world, no one left to turn to, because these people's hearts are in the wickedest places, corrupt, and really scoring everything that's supposed to work to be sanctified in your life or work to help you. It's supposed to favor you. You're supposed to be the government, not allow your government to be ripping you apart. Just as you are equipped to be able to see it, and enough to see it, they have their own shit within their own criminal places in the police departments, and otherwise, just a tarnished life that gets further and further damaged, while those who are doing the damages are the people in charge, are the people who have more power. And these people are rather really crafty over your whole life, just to demonize everything in your life, to alter it and make it work in their favor. And you'd think there would be some help out here in the case of murder. A premeditated one, and a long time, I would imagine, quite paid well performing these tasks, I imagine too. But they just rather go to work in this way. Sanctions are made while you suffer. So what's the real answer here? You need to get in there. You need to get your grubby hands all over me with these kind of truths I speak out about, because underneath the weapon of these secrets that they have to keep, and in order to keep them fully swept under the rug, they need your life swept up in the worst of ways. So we just suffer in it, and suffer along, and suffer for a long, long time. And rather, they have friends. They have our friends as acting as shills. They have our family, some of which acting as shills. The evil begets the evil, and it poisons us and our minds with just the mental abuse alone, but then the poisons too. Because of whatever reasons we come out here and say that have happened to us, it seems to just be okay with the criminals at large because of where they come from. Because of exposing this type of dark crime, and the places of where this dark crime has to go into would expose them and bleed right into their lives. So I'm just trying to be out here getting it right in my life, just to write it out, and just to surface that mind that was otherwise ripped apart from me. Or rather, I just wanted to try. But it was as if I didn't even have the right to do that. They were amongst me, making it harder and harder for me to breathe, harder and harder for my body to even have a heartbeat at all, and that's the truth. They were aiming at taking my life while actually snaking me out of my life, stealing my home, every last thing about my life aimed at, for them to take away for their own gains. And this is the absolute truth of it all. They were working to hack me out of my mind, hack me and hijack me out of my whole life. My identity was stripped, completely gone. In their final moves was to jack me of my life and mind, while taking over my home and making do with everything else, as if they hadn't stolen up enough already. So it's really cray-cray to me to see exactly what this destiny swap is. But when you're the victim on the other side of it, and you don't even have any outlet out here just because you're standing within the light of Christ, because they don't even want to crown yourself with the blood of the Lamb in that kind of way, because the ways of this world and the ways they're protected with their all so high power, they aren't protected by God's promises and firm word, firm and faith. And God is a creator of his own word, and so God is faithful to his word. And they don't like that either, which is why they came for your life in the first place. They came for your light first because they understood it. And just because they understood that you saw things in the 5D and not only in the 3D, but just because they understood it didn't mean that they liked you. They wanted it. They wanted you down. They wanted your light. And the real point is to make this about the last 40 years of my life, because in truth, if I was to react one time, they come after you and they get you in trouble, but not looking at the 44,444 crimes or whatever that they've taken and worked out day in and day out throughout your life. No, we're not going to go there, and we're not going to touch there at all. We're working in the hands of the evil and the occultist, meaning to actually be able to perform and get away with our satanic ritual abuse of sacrificing you. You see, just like Jesus, just like that light in the world in general. And that's exactly what it's like to be in this place. Below 86 below zero in your own loneliness, because of how these people moved in your life and made you feel like you had a love life. Buying and purchasing your own love life to continue to go to work on you within your own trust, your own heart, your own love. Just go to work in that motherfucker. They have no honor in where they go to work in the sickest and most sadistic ways possible, but you can't see the spiritual war that I see, right? You couldn't even so much as understand that kind of spiritual warfare that I see with my own eyes, right? People would just rather stay blind to it, and they don't want to look at it all, or they can't seem to look at it because they themselves could be a part and layer within it. Or rather, they're just coping with the mechanisms themselves. But their spirits are corrupt. And as soon as they wake up to their conscience, they're going to realize that too. And there they are, coming for you in that light, because that first light that you were made with, the ways that they foresaw over you instead of that light. So they continuously went to work on you. But none of them had the keys to your grave. They should know that Jesus does, and it saves your life. But it's not in some wrecked up state of mind, playing all of these mental games and poisonings all of the time. Because these were simply people trying to take you out because of where they had already pushed things to. The levels deep, they couldn't even face the real reality of themselves anymore, let alone face you. After the lengths that they had went to, they know they had broken so many hearts in the process of opening up their own attributed ways to open up that Pandora's box, so to speak, to shake you out of life. Liberty. Yeah, it is a Pandora's box of their own, alright. Caught up in their own lies, their own criminal ties, and their own ways to deal with. How could you even look at yourself and go to work in that fashion, man? Have you no audacity in the hearts of men out here? I'd say you have no audacity at all. I'd say you're about as cowardice as you are dead in the flesh to be able to go to work in this kind of way over somebody else's life. That's why I was set up to a 9.9 multiple times in pain falling to the ground, and these poisonings that were meant to position me into an early grave where I wasn't even able to hardly see what was going on. I deserved justice. I deserved blessings to come. The only thing I got out here was ignored. And I think it's a lot bigger of a crime than people want to partake with in this manner, because I think that crime goes over and covers over entire lives. The framework that was meant to follow me around anywhere I was meaning to go, trying to go, or run to. It was to ensure that I never reached my own ability to success, my own light, the light that I had found in Jesus Christ, so that I couldn't break away from their control. They wanted to basically take me to every single edge to toss me off, because they'd know that I'd expose their criminal ways and their criminal enterprise. So just as you're in this way, you're just realizing that just because you're realizing this huge monumental crime, you're realizing you're just hitting the tip of the iceberg of a criminal fraud that these people with these deflated hearts of men, cowardice as they are dicey, and just rather dead in their own actions inside, suffocating for anything forthcoming or forthright in their life. That something that rather carries that substance, instead. But they've let the world and anything that could matter out here be able to materialize instead of being able to see their own blessings, their own best things that could have ever had, that they could have ever had to hold. And they let all of that love slip away from them, to ensure that love was slipping away from you, that you were going to be rather pushed into harder and harder depths, trying to dig out for your own life's sake, searching for that love, and being poisoned up. You were clinging to what was there. Them, who you should fear. Them, the narcissists, the sociopaths and psychopaths. You've seen the true malevolence out here. And I'm just trying to suggest that life shouldn't have ever have had to be lived this way. This is not even a half-lived life, love life, at all, because of hearts of men. And hearts of men are corrupt. Hearts of men are cowardice. Hearts of men are rather shattered to the core, at the waists, from experiencing their own truest identity, the one that is found in the light of this life, which is Jesus Christ, which is the light of this world. The sunlight that's given is of Christ's light, meaning to give the life to the plants we eat, and the healing herbs that we're supposed to find organically in nature to heal our bodies from disease and discomfort. But this life has wrecked up everything holy, everything that's meant to be sanctified. It twists and twists through its eradication, educating you while getting further and further away from wisdom or true education at all. It takes away from the power and authority that Jesus was speaking about within our prayers, on being on the same pages together and combined. Yet people don't even see that they are that kind of frequency. They do carry that kind of power. That magic in their hearts is magnetic, and energy throughout that light translates into the frequency of this life. So you can see far well why the darkest things of this life fear their own morbidity exposure that would suffocate you down to the cellular level and really literally snake you out of your life, because they can't have you showing people that light that you found within the Lord Jesus Christ. They built this $2 million project all around you, or however much it's been costing them to snake you out of your life and yours. They've gone to work, and they've gone to work all right. But it's just to rather run you into different scenes and change up your heart. But out here, hearts do change. Hearts begin to work within that light that's found within the light of this world, Jesus Christ. Because he gave of himself for you to be able to see it. I don't think that he gave of himself in that manner for you not to be able to see it and use it too. I believe that the Lord gave his only begotten Son so that you could see it, and that it went to work in your life. And that is through your prayers. So this is my heart's work, my prayers work, and my light's work through the dark works that I was being made blind for a long, long time, unable to speak, unable to really breathe inside to even construct the right words to be able to say what was actually happening in my life, or to even rather discover it, to go after it, or to try and do anything at all. So in the depth of what I'm expressing here, I'm just saying that it's been painful, and I rather deserved a life, a full life, love life lived without this kind of behavior happening in the backgrounds of my life. So thanks for being here, and maybe now you see why it matters to me so much, why I want you on my channel. Thanks for being here. Bye. Thanks to the ones out here who see beauty with purpose, who have a harder time because of how many people have been rather breaking you. Thanks for being you. I see you. And thanks for being here. Your support means a lot to me. But it's important for me to let you know that I see you.